Favourite time of the week to talk to our favourite person in the world. What a way to say good day to Megyn Kelly. Lovely to see you, rock star. How you been?
Hi, it's great to be here. I've been wonderful.
So it's day, 15 of Donald Trump as president, and he has already done more in 15 days than the last bloke did, let's be honest, in his whole 4, but maybe 20 years before that. I love the pace of change. I love that he's actually just going root and branch, bugger it, let's go after all the big problems. And he's going to have 2 soldiers with him. Well, let's see how the Senate goes, but basically the first hurdles have now been cleared. RFK, in health, Tulsi Gabbard in and around the national intelligence agencies. Both of these people are great because just like Trump, they see the problem and there's no such thing as the too hard basket.
That's right. And they're not owned by anybody. That's one of the most delightful things about them. You know, RFKJ has had a lifetime of being oppositional to, big pharma and some of these other large corporate interests. And so has Tulsi. Like Tulsi has had a lifetime of questioning the intel agencies and the tactics they're using and whether they're coloring inside the lines when it comes to their constitutional mandates and restraints. And that's why they're not that popular with the groups they're about to go, not rule over, but at least have some authority in dealing with. Which is all the more reason why it's very important that they get confirmed and do exactly that. The American people elected Trump because the country's not working for them. It needed a makeover, like a serious makeover. And you can't make over the country with a cabinet that looks just like the last cabinet, including the last cabinet of Trump's. We didn't really have a makeover under him. He was still figuring out, how do I get my agenda through? He was taking people's recommendations on, oh, this guy's good, you need this guy here. And we later found out that many of those people were working against Trump and for the so-called deep state, which is really just another word for establishment types who are entrenched in the government and don't want to change a thing. Anyway, Trump's ripping all the Band-Aids off, starting anew in almost every area. And as the kids say, I am here for it.
The thing that I think is really interesting, and maybe it's just because we have such a positive view of what these people are going to do. But I like that we're sort of getting to this stage where I don't care who you slept with 20 years ago. I don't care what happened in college. What's your plan to do with the job you're about to have? And RFKJ, and we've talked about this for such a long time, and you've done hours and hours and hours of sit-downs with this guy, right? When he was running for president, I remember playing a tape from one of his very, very many speeches where he points out the obvious. America is fat and it's sick and it has chronic diseases that it didn't have when his uncle and his father were in the middle of the White House. And anyone who loves America knows that's exactly true.
100%. And I also feel like, I don't know, if you are electing a pope, you need to know about the love life. You need to know about serious moral personal failings. It's very relevant to the job. But in 2025, America, Australia, I just feel like at this point, we just need to get done. We really need to overhaul these institutions that have been stuck, mired in their own bad habits for decades now. And so RFKJ, no, I would not date him. I would not date Pete Hegseth either. I wouldn't. But I love Pete, and I think Bobby's great too. I'd have dinner with them. I can be friends with them, and I would 100% vote for them for the positions they're in. Pete's already doing a great job over at defense, and Bobby's going to do a great job over at health. He's an expert on the very things that you just ticked off that we need somebody to look at.
I also think it's important that to note, and I've been sort of trying to watch what's the pattern of each and every day, because then, okay, when things get worse, this is going to get louder, or if things get better, then this is going to get softer, right? And clearly one of the things that's very different this time around is that, the 4 a.m. tweets that fed into the breakfast television that then he was reacting to by the middle of the day, before people reacted to the reaction, and then the feedback loop continues. That, sure, he's still banging out the truth socials, but because he's doing these sort of, look, I'm sitting at the desk, got any questions for me, guys, quick, yep, no, yes, bang, 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 that some of the people around him have worked out how to let that part of his personality fly, but also it means it's being done in a quite authoritative setting. It's again, it's not the theory of him sitting on the toilet at 3 a.m. It's him sitting behind the Oval doing his job. And I think that whoever's behind that, and if it's Trump himself, awesome. Most likely, probably not. Whoever's put him in that space, they know how to get the best out of him and what's good for him. Because otherwise, you end up in this feedback loop of outrage.
Absolutely. Trump needs to be talking to the people. He needs it. He needs to be in front of a camera or in front of a microphone. It's his oxygen. And it's not just Trump. I have to say, one of the nice things about this new administration, 15 days in, is how transparent and accessible they've all been. Pete Hegseth put out a video just talking about what he's about to do right from his desk at the Department of Defense before. Never seen that from a Pentagon chief. Sean Duffy, same thing. Let me give you the latest on the airline disaster that we had over the Potomac. And then there was another flight that went down in Philadelphia on Friday night. Like, here's exactly what we're doing. This is what I've done. I brought these people in. It doesn't always have to be a big presser, right? It can just be the actual guy saying, I know what's on your mind. Here's what I'm doing to combat it. And that's what Trump's doing, whether it's from the Oval or, on Marine One, wherever he is, or just popping into the press briefing room. His press secretary has been very visible too. Like, they really are a vibrant, modern, visible presidency. If you could envision the polar opposite of the Joe Biden administration, that's what we're experiencing over here. And you forget that Trump is 78. Like, I noticed something, Paul. Elon Musk is constantly on X, constantly. And I don't know how he does it, because look at what he's doing. It's like rescuing astronauts from space. He's shooting rockets of his own up there. He runs Tesla, which is an innovative electric vehicle company. He runs the Boring Company, where they're trying to bore through all this underground cave material so that we can have high-speed trains. He runs the Neuralink Company, where they're literally trying to solve paralysis and have figured out how to put something in somebody's brain such that they can control the computer just with their thoughts. That's what I think. He runs X. He runs Twitter and is on Twitter. How? I'm exhausted. I need a nap just talking about it. Well, Trump is the same. That's exactly how Trump is. And I don't know if he's just built that way or if it's the Sudafed, which I do know he likes. But whatever it is, they're both constantly awake, alert, and ready for more. So again, I don't want to be married to that. Like that, I'd be like, go to bed. I'm tired, for the love of Pete. But I do like it in an executive and a billionaire who wants to work for us for free. It's this pairing that I think will truly change the world. But we are 3-2-1 from hearing the reports over in Politico of the journalists and how tired they are. It's nonstop chaos, and they can't take this, and they're all on antidepressants.